It's Marley from the Energy Boutique, bringing you your October energy forecast. So welcome to October. We are entering into October under the influence of Libra season. It's an air energy, and with your fire, with your passion, with your optimism, and with your desire, we are definitely getting revved up here to see what it is that we want to initiate from here and where it is that we can bring some new ideas to life. I am going to recommend that you jump over to my YouTube channel, that you listen to the October energy forecast, that you subscribe to the playlist, because I can go into more details and into depth on what some of these astrological shifts are going to mean for us for the month of October. I get a little bit more time to kind of go through the highs and lows of it all than I do here in these mini forecasts. And I just want you to have the biggest, brightest picture on what it is that we can expect from the energy of this month, seeing that it's highly, highly transformative. So right out of the gate, we have Mercury finally going direct at 24 degrees in Virgo on October 2nd. Now, this has been a back and forth situation. We've really been struggling to gain clarity, to express ourselves fully. Our brain quite isn't working right. This really rewinds us back to the end of August at this particular degree of Virgo energy. And this has been highlighting your 10th house. So towards the end of summer, I know many of my Sag friends were preparing to jump into new jobs, new situations of education, new situations in their home life. And of course, the 10th house definitely does represent the career. But more importantly, it represents more roles and responsibilities that we had to boss up into. The 10th house is definitely looking at our stability in our lives, especially out in the world where careers and jobs are concerned as well. And we are definitely focused on trying to find a little bit more stability where there's been a whole hell of a lot of craziness. Mercury going direct means that we are going to see a lot of forward movement take place, although it is going to be a little bit slow until about the 10th of October. We are going to feel a little bit of that fogginess kind of lift out of our mental plane. And for many of us, we are just going to kind of be able to move forward and implement some of the routines that we have tried to implement that haven't been going so well in order to make sure that we are moving through our day, our tasks, our chores, and the roles, responsibilities, both of our home life and of our career life, with a lot more ease, a lot more grace, instead of the bumps and the detours and the dysfunction. On the 8th, we have Pluto, the great transformer himself, going direct after a 5-month retrograde. Of course, Pluto has been set up in your second house of worth and value, of routines and relationships, of foundations since 2008. So you have likely seen a lot of things change in your life since then. But over this past 5 months, this has been an inner journey of recognizing where it is that we are about to enter into a realm, a chapter where we have to take our power back, where we have to be in control of our lives, where we are going to use some of the painful situations, some of the uncomfortable situations in order to project us forward. We are definitely focused on, correcting and making some wrongs into rights. We are definitely focused on taking some of the struggle and really overcoming it and triumphing it. And of course, we are definitely taking a good look on what needs to be built, what needs to be birthed, what needs to be created in our day-to-day lives in order to provide us with a lot more safety, security, and stability than what it is that we have been experiencing for the past 5 months. On the 9th, we have the full moon taking place in Aries energy at 16 degrees. It's taking place very close to Chiron, the wounded healer, also in Aries energy. And this is definitely going to be a heated full moon. We are going to see a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, a lot of insecurities, a lot of doubts rise to the surface in order for us to get it out of our bodies. Now, this is the halfway point of this astrological calendar. This takes us back to the spring. And for many of us, we We tried to bring new things to life. We tried to improve. We tried to grow. There's been all kinds of karmic events thrown at us, all kind of changes thrown at us. For the most part, we've been handling it very well, just in survival mode, but we haven't really taken the time to process the thoughts, the feelings that came along with all of those transformations and all of those changes. Because we are now being illuminated to some of the repressed emotions and oppressed memories that we've kind of been struggling to bring up to the surface and acknowledge and purge, this is going to be a full boiling point, a full releasing point of having to get out a lot of the anger, a lot of the frustrations that we've been feeling since the spring of this year. Now, this has a lot to do with our ego selves, our identity selves as well. It does kind of feel like we aren't able to move as fast as we would like in the pursuit of our dreams, of our happiness, of our goals. We've been derailed by many different obstacles out in our physical realm. And this particular full moon energy is actually illuminating your fifth house, which is your heart chakra. So you've definitely, been very strong in your heart space to kind of navigate the ups and downs and the topsy-turvy curves being thrown at you throughout this particular year. But at the same time, you've just been in survival mode. And I feel like it's time, because Aries is a fire energy and you are a fire energy as well, in order for you to kind of throw a tantrum and to throw a shit fit and get that energy out so that it's not bouncing around within you and creating a lot of unconscious blocks that are preventing you from actually moving forward. The fifth house is your heart chakra. It blocks your creativity. If you're not, being true to yourself, it blocks the playful energy that we've all lost over these last couple of months. And it's time for us to release some of these heavier emotions from our physical body in order to get back to doing what it is that we love and what it is that makes us happy. On the 10th is when Mercury moves into Libran energy. Granted, we still are kind of retracing our steps from early September, but Mercury moving back into Libra is when we're going to start feeling a little bit lighter in our mental plane, a little bit more balanced in our emotions and in our heart versus our head. Mercury moving into Libra means that we are a little bit more communicative, we are a little bit more social, we're able to bring our ideas out of our mouths and actually express ourselves in a much more comfortable way. We are also able to really have the heart-to-heart conversations that we need to have to clear the air in some personal relationships that definitely popped off while Mercury was retrograde. And Mercury moving into Libran energy is highlighting your 11th house. So your 11th house is about connections and friendships and community and network. It also rules over the vision that you have for your dreams, for your goals, for your future. And things have been a little bit foggy there just because we've had so many karmic events thrown at us. We've really had to roll with the punches. So now with Mercury moving back into Libra, we're definitely able to kind of sit with ourselves and balance the scales in our mental plane on what it is that we want, what it is that we need, what it is that we desire, and what it is that we need to talk about and actually bring out of our inner realm into the outside world. On the 23rd, we have a pretty powerful day at hand. There are 3 different aspects taking place here today. First, starting with Saturn, the Lord of Karma, finally going direct in Aquarian energy. Now, Saturn has been Aquarian energy since basically the end of 2020, but off and on, but spent the majority of 2021 there. We are trying to wrap up this particular life lesson as Saturn is going to move on into Pisces energy in 2023. Saturn, having been retrograde for the past 5 months, has definitely taken us on an inner realm journey to see where it is that maybe some boundaries need to be created in making sure that we are doing what we want to do, what we need, what we desire, what is right for us, instead of constantly backburnering what it is that we need to do for ourselves to do what we think other people want from us or what we think other people expect from us. Saturn wants us to boss up into new roles and new responsibilities in life. And definitely there is a touch of karma coming at us where we are progressing through life lessons and soul contracts. Saturn going direct is really going to have us focused on what it is that we need to kind of build upon from here in order to get from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be, keeping in mind that we have to stay balanced in making sure that we're pouring just as much time, energy, into ourselves as we are into other people. Now, this is going to be highlighting your third house, which is the mental plane. It is your mental narrative. It is the information coming in from the world, how it is that you're processing that, and how it is that you're communicating and expressing yourself. I feel like because this is Aquarian energy, and Aquarian energy is visual, this is going to be a great time in order for you to tap into a new level of creativity and actually use a new form, a new medium, whether it be art or music or words or however it is that you choose to express yourself, to really channel some of the great ideas that you have, some of the progressive ideas that you have, some of the dreams and visions that you have into something tangible here in this physical world that you could have other people understand based off of the way that you choose to express yourself. Just after Saturn goes direct, we have Venus and the Sun moving into Scorpio energy, a water energy. This is definitely going to slow you down, little snuff out your fire a little bit, put you into the emotional realm of things, and definitely get you in touch with your intuition. So because you are just a month or so away from your birthday season, this means that you're in your dark season where things tend to fall apart, where you're running out of energy, you're running out of steam, where everything seems a little bit overwhelming. This is the dark season, and it's meant to essentially break you down so that when you have your birthday and you receive the light codes from the sun to re-energize you for your next natal year, that you are open to change, that you're open to help, that you're open to receive new blessings that will literally transform your next natal year. But you're not quite there yet, which means that entering into Scorpio waters means that the Sun and Venus will be setting up camp in your 12th house. Your 12th house is endings, closures, your intuition, your soul self, your soul contract, the hidden realm of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your memories. Venus doing a deep dive in Scorpio waters definitely does want to dabble in the darkness of the shadow elements that are creating unconscious blocks, preventing us from truly aligning with what it is that we're passionate about and what it is that we desire. But at the same time, we are reevaluating what it is that actually makes us happy, what it is we actually find joy and happiness in. Many of my Sagittarian friends have a hard time focusing on one thing and seeing that one thing to completion because there are so many different areas of interest. The sun shining a bright light in those Scorpio waters in this 12th house is definitely helping you to come to terms with some of the situations that maybe you haven't processed yet, maybe you haven't fully acknowledged the emotional transformation of yet. Again, this 12th house is providing a little bit of an ending, a little bit of a closure on who it is that you've had to be as far as this past year goes, and prepping you for who it is that you want to become when you have your birthday. On the 25th, we have the new moon solar eclipse taking place at 2 degrees in Scorpio energy. And this as well will be highlighting the 12th house for you. So this is an interesting thing because we have the universe kind of kicking us in the butt to straighten us out. This is a wild card energy, a karmic event, if you will. This is a continuation of some situations that began in the fall of 2021 that kind of reached a peak, reached a reorganization, restructuring period in the spring, in May of 2022. And now we are having a solar eclipse, which typically rewards us with something, gifts us with something, adds something to our life. Now, a new moon is a new beginning. And at 2 degrees, we are closing out the last 2.5-year chapter and beginning a brand new 2.5-year chapter. And in Scorpio energy, this is highly intuitive. It has a lot to do with the inner transformation that we go through as we sort through the pain and trauma of our experiences, as we kind of tap into the survival aspect of overcoming certain challenges, certain obstacles, and then truly being in alignment with what it is that our heart and soul is calling us to do. It's a new mission. It's a new purpose. It's a new, I'm going to say, path for us to pursue that we're passionate about and that we truly desire. On the 28th, we have Jupiter going retrograde, creeping back into Pisces energy. Now, Jupiter spent the bulk of 2021 kind of dipping in this Pisces energy and then moving into a different sign and then dipping back into it again. Now, what I will say is if you rewind to 2020, pretty much the end of 2020. And then coming into 2021, there were a lot of different elements that were thrown at you as far as your home goes, your environment goes, the family dynamic goes. Now, Jupiter going back into Pisces energy is illuminating this fourth house of home and family. And we are trying to kind of revisit some of the topics and themes that we thought we were done with in 2021 that maybe need a little bit of a reflection, a little bit of a review in order to reconnect us with what it is that the great grand vision is supposed to be, or what we wanted it to be, what it is that we were actually wanted to pursue as far as our dreams go. This is about seeing how much growth we've been able to accomplish, how much improvements we've been able to make into our life, where it is that the belief system within ourselves and within the universe has changed. And now we are kind of moving back into that Piscean waters to reconnect with our higher selves, to reconnect with our soul and our spirit, to get real and authentic with what it is that we're actually passionate about and what it is that our dreams actually are in order for us to be able to move forward. Of course, the home and the family environment has been hugely impacted by the wants, needs, and desires of some individuals within the home, and aligning with new missions, new purposes has definitely thrown a wrench in what was, I'm going to say, a stable home family situation. Just when you got things stable, just when you thought you were in a good routine, something else changed, and then you had to kind of go with the flow and roll with the punches again. I'm going to take you back to the spring of this year where there was new information, new opportunities, a new pursuit of happiness, or a new mission that absolutely kind of unfolded. And then, in the summer months, we had Jupiter go retrograde again. So the changes were kind of taking place. And now that we are retrograding back in Pisces energy, we just need to be reminded of why we're going through all this, why the pain, the suffering, the trauma, the dysfunction, why it will all be worth it in the long run. So on the 29th, we have Mercury moving into Scorpio. Scorpio energy, of course, adding to this 12th house for you. I want you to pay attention to your dream state. I feel like you're going to have a lot of very cryptic dreams, a lot of maybe even nightmares in order for you to realize and uncover where some repressed memories and emotions are still alive and well in you. Mercury brings the intellect, while Scorpio brings the intuition. And we're able to do a deep dive in our unconscious selves in order to see where some fears are still alive and well and blocking us from truly going after what it is that we want and truly being able to communicate our deepest, darkest desires to the people that need to hear it. This is definitely going to be an ending, a closure, preparing you for a brand new life cycle when you hit your birthday. But the 12th house is very intuitive, very karmic, very much about our spiritual practice. And I think that that's something that my Sagittarian friends need to be reminded of, because life got busy. There's all kinds of excitement going on. There's all kinds of changes and transformations taking place in the external realm. Many of my Sag friends just need to kind of move back within themselves and remind themselves that they are a spirit, that they are a soul, that they do have to kind of go through the process of reflection and review in order to make peace with some circumstances and with some soul contracts that maybe we still haven't come to terms with. On the 30th, we have Mars going retrograde in Gemini energy. Mars is the ruler of physical energy, drive, passion, desire, and even anger. And in Gemini energy, which we will be in until March of 2023, we are definitely all stuck up in the mental plane. We are kind of debating pros and cons and choices and paths and directions. We are a little bit angry and a little bit irritated. Why? We don't really know. We'll figure that out. While Mars is retrograde, we're going to be internalizing the energy that we would normally be putting out into the world. And we're going to have to sit with what it is that we're angered and frustrated about, especially with the lack of progress, especially with the lack of change and transformation that we're actually able to pursue at this particular point. This is going to be highlighting the 7th house of partnerships and relationships. And may I just kind of remind you that you do not have a very good filter when it comes to speaking your truth. You just kind of lay it out there. You're very blunt. here, take it as it is. And Mars adding to the fuel of your already existing fire is definitely going to make communication a little bit more confrontational, a little bit more volatile. So you are going to have to be a little bit more aware of your communication style when it comes to speaking to people that you share your life with, because there's a lot of irritation, frustration, and even anger coming up from your unconscious self, and that could be definitely projected out into your personal relationships. So some of the messages that I would like for you to concentrate on as you move through the month of October, first and foremost, is finding your footing. I feel like the craziness between August up until now has finally settled in and maybe stabilized a little bit. I feel like you're getting back to a healthy routine. I feel like there's a little bit more structure, a little bit more discipline kind of being implemented in your day-to-day life. Please do not push your health and wellness aside. Although everything is good, although things are busy, although your attention is needed in other places, please do not push your own health and wellness aside. You do need to really kind of create a healthy exercise routine, a healthy diet for yourself. You have to be making time to balance out your mind, your body, your soul, instead of always working and always taking care of other people and always kind of tending to the next thing, the next task, the next project, the next goal, the next chore. It is very important that you take time to stabilize within this new reality, within these new roles and responsibilities, and that you make sure that you are taking care of your mind, your body, your soul. You are going to have a lot of very powerful ideas coming at you. I feel like when Saturn goes direct in this third house, it's just going to open the floodgates in your mental plane where maybe it is that you felt, a blockage over the last couple of months. I feel like these new ideas are really going to be something that excite you, that you're passionate about. Maybe you're bringing some projects to life, some ideas to life. Regardless of what it is, you're definitely moving into a brand new cycle of initiating and beginning new chapters, new cycles, new seasons of being able to not only articulate and communicate your ideas from your inner realm to the outer realm with a lot more confidence and clarity, but with a lot more fire and passion. I feel like that's going to be a good vibe for you to kind of run with, especially as you are exploring the new opportunities that will be blessing you under the karmic circumstances that Saturn is going to now start blessing us with. And then again, eclipse season brings a whole level of magic, of opportunities and of abundance to us, especially where your mental plane is concerned, and being able to channel some of the new ideas into fruition are concerned as well. The last thing that I want to just kind of bring to your attention is that it is okay for you to give yourself a mental vacation. It is time for you to kind of take a break. I don't know if you're able to or not. One would say, well, my mental plane didn't work for the last month and a half. Shouldn't I run with some of the ideas coming in? Absolutely, but don't push too hard. Yes, October is going to be a jolt forward. Yes, we are going to see major transformations take place in our physical realm, but at the same time, we are being blocked, we are being restricted from doing too much too fast. There is this element where we have to kind of learn how to aggress ourselves, take a couple of steps forward, really stabilize our situation, initiate new ideas, and then take a step back to see how everything is flowing together instead of constantly pushing for the next goal, the next dream, the next vision. So Sag, I hope that was helpful. I hope that those messages resonated with you. I hope you have a beautiful October. And of course, I'm sending you love, and we'll talk to you soon.